Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening wherever you are. Uh, in this video tutorial, I will show you a demo how to do penetration testing uh, for Windows and Linux password. Okay, so I have a documentation here. I'm gonna post this on the Blackboard. All right. So the first thing we need to do is we need to download this file, right? Thanks to the instructor, Mr. Nick Hinoyosa, for preparing or creating this lab. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna download this file, okay? So that is the first step we need to do. We need to run a git clone, right? We need to download this requirement because we need to have the following file to do it. uh, git clone and then http github Nick Hinoyosa and CITP. Once again, thank you for providing these resources, the hash files. So I'm going to click enter. Okay, now I'm downloading this. It may take some time, so just be patient. Let me see if my thing's working. All right, so let me fix this one. Okay, what you call that? I need to enable my networking, right? I need to enable my networking here. Connect this. Okay, so let me do one more time. Git clone. Okay, enter. Okay, so let me pause this video. Okay, the typo that I have is this one. Is uppercase. And Hinoyosa is uppercase. So if you have lowercase, make sure you fix that. It is case sensitive because we are running in the Linux command. Okay. All right. So the first thing we need to download the files, right? And if I run, if I go to CLS, if I do an ls here, ls, ls, you see that I have a directory called CITP. Let me see here. CITP 4330. So I'm going to go to CD CITP 4330, enter, and then ls. Now I have all the shadow file, the passwd and shadow file, hash file. This belongs to Linux, and we have a Windows hash files here, right? So if I do a cat readme, right? Cat readme.md, be sure this is sensitive, so be careful when you read and type, right? Read and type carefully and think also carefully. So read, write, and think carefully. Try not to rush, right? Because when I try to do things in a hurry, I tend to forget something. So whenever I preparing for an exam or do something important, I usually have a special room that quiet so no one disturb me while I'm doing the works. All right. So cat readme.md. Okay. Boom. Now you see all this is all the hash file, right? So this is an MD file, hash file. Let me show you here. If I compare this, I'm gonna go to GitHub. GitHub. Let me see the syntax here, right? GitHub. Let me see here. GitHub and Hinoyosa, Hinoyosa, and then slash CITP 4330 dot there. Okay. dot git, right? Dot git. So let me see, dot git, right? Okay, here is the repository of the files, right? Notice that if you compare this hash file, MD5 hashes file for this file, right? So I'm gonna try to have a double here. The hash, if I verify this is the same, right? Notice that 9B8, 9B8, and the shadow file is EBDF is the same, right? For window is 108D, 108D. So this is the same, right? So this file is not tampered or is not corrupted. This is the MD hashes file, right? So MD5 sum, when I run this command, right, is basically to verify the hash of the files, right? So let me do one more thing here, right? So this is the repository, okay? GitHub and Hinoyosa CITP. So now let me verify the MD5, right? Let me verify the MD5 sum. Let's do the pass working directory, enter, boom. Now we can see that this is 9B8, right? If we want to individually check the hash file, then we run this command md5 sum and then the file name, the file hashes file name. Okay, so that is the same actually, right? If you compare this again, the pass is 9BD, right? Is 9BD, okay, 9B8. I'm sorry. All right. So that is the first step, right? The first step is to download all the necessary files or requirements, right? So now let's combine the file here, right? So let's combine the file. So I'm gonna run this command clear, right? I'm gonna let's do Linux first, right? So I'm gonna do unshadow pass wd and the shadow file, right? We're gonna combine this and we're gonna name this linux.hashes because this is belongs to hashes, right? Linux.hashes. Okay, all right, so now we create that, right? Linux.hashes. So now we can do cat linux.hashes, enter. So now we get this, right? This is all the hashes of the Linux file, right? Where can you find this? Is under /etc shadow /etc shadow, and you can find this in the /etc shadow or /etc pass wd. You can get this file in that file location, file path, right? As you notice that when I scroll it down, remember this MSF admin user account, we have this hash file here, right? This is the hash, okay? So the structure of this, this is the username and this is the encrypted password, right? So that is the format, that is the file format for the hash file in Linux. Again, where can you find this? In the /etc/passwd, and another one is in the /etc/shadow. Okay. So the basically with the shadow file, right? It has more information than the passwd, right? All right. So what's the next step? So now we're gonna use using John the Ripper, right? So John the Ripper is one of the popular password cracking tools, right? John support many encryption technologies for Windows, Unix, and Mac, right? there are some other tools for cracking this hash file. So first we need to download the hash file or obtain the hash file. After that, we need to crack that. We need to choose the tools. In this case, we're gonna use John the Ripper. There are any other tools, cracking tools such as Hashcat and Opcrack, right? Hashcat and Opcrack. But John the Ripper is quite popular, so we're gonna use this one. All right. All right. So now we're gonna use John, right? So let me see if we can do this. I'm gonna scroll it down. If you see the root, where is the root here? We have a root, right? See, this is a root user account and this is the hash file, right? So I'm gonna clear this out. And that let's use John, right? John the Ripper. So we're gonna use John, right? John Linux dot hashes dash single, right? Enter. All right, here we go. So now we find it here, right? Using John the Ripper, right? Let me scroll it down. We have we found that user Postgre, MSF admin, and MSF admin, right? Service and service. So we use John to crack the hashes using a single option, right? Let me show you John. In case you don't know what's the option, I'm gonna click dash help, right? John space dash help. Now it will show you, right? It will show you the option here, right? So here it show you we are using John the Ripper 1.9, right? And then I'm gonna scroll it down. Option and password. Let me see. Option and password file. So dash is help. Print the usage summary. Dash single is a single crack mode, right? Using default or name rules, right? Later on, we're gonna use word list, okay? Dash single, dash word list, and the name of the files, okay? So what is the command? Any new tools, you need to type the name of it and then -h. That's help files. Okay, so now we get this information, right? We find to crack some of this username and password on Linux. Let me do another one, which is John Linux hashes instead of single. Now we're gonna do show, right? Show. Here we go. That is the username, right? We find this, right? We crack this using John the Ripper. It's very easy to John the Ripper is kind of a user friendly and it's not difficult to use. That's why that's why it is quite popular. You have Postgres, right? And then you have users and users. You have services, right? So 4 password hashes have been cracked, right? So you use a single and show. So what is a show here? So you can have this one to show. Okay. Again, if you never use this, show line, right? Show format, show information about the hashes file, right? Show information about hashes in a file, in a JSON format, right? Show cracked password, show. See, any option that you didn't know, consult with this manual, right? I also do not remember all of the options. So, but the most common one we need to remember, especially if this is going to be your career choice, okay? All right. So now we have this one. Let's use a word list, right? So I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna open a new instances here, and then I'm gonna use password attack and then go to password attack toolbar and word list, right? When you go to the word list option, notice that it has a word list called rock on you, right? So I'm gonna click yes here, right? I'm gonna click yes. They ask me for the password. I'm gonna click Kali, enter. Okay, now we have a word list, right? So let me see if we can unzip this, right? We need to go to unzip this. It shows the word list. So choose rock you. Let me ls. You have rocku and rocku.txt.gz, and we already unzipped this, right? Because the rocku already unzipped it. In the past, we need to unzip that. In case you don't know how to unzip this in Linux, this is the command sudo, right? gzip -d, and then you copy this one. However, I'm not going to do this because it's already unzipped, right? This is the command to unzip in case you don't know how to do that. All right. Okay, so now let's use a word list, right? Earlier we used a single mode, right? So now we're going to use a word list. So this is the command for that. What you call this? The command is John Linux .hashes. Remember we combined that file hashes, okay, and then -- word list like this, right? Equal / this one is located in the / user directory, user share, right? And then word list, right? This is in the word list, and then it's called rocku.txt. So we are going to use a word list now, right? And then I'm gonna click enter. Let's see what happened, right? So John, and then the name of the file, and then the option, which is word list, and then you choose the path here. This is the path. Click enter. Boom. Oop, unknown option. So I have a typo here. Let me see. I need to fix that, right? So let me find out what's the issue here. Word list. Okay, I think I have a typo here. I don't think I need to use this one. Word list, right? I don't think I need to use this, right? Word list like that. Enter. Let me see. Enter. Boom. No such file directory. Okay, so let me pause this, okay? So I need to troubleshoot this. Okay, basically I shouldn't run from this word list directory because the John the Reaper is not here. So I need to go to the original one. Remember, I have two instances, right? This is the instances where I run the John, and this is the directory, right? So I have to go back, and now let's see if it's gonna crack, right? At least they already find Batman here. The password is sys, right? So I run this using word list rocku. It may take some time because there are a lot of things here, right? 7 password hash within 7 different salts. So we need to be patient. While you are waiting for this to finish, right? As you can see that the CPU is working here, right? So let me pause this video so you can, so you don't have to wait, right? I'm gonna wait for a few minutes. Let me pause. Okay, apparently I only find 3 more, right? After a few minutes, right? When I ran this Linux hashes using rocku word list, we have this Batman and Kellogg and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 9, and the sys, the password is Batman. So this is how we do password cracking using hash on Linux, right? In the next video, I'm gonna show you how to use John the Ripper, but cracking the window hashes and the zip file, right? The zip files. Okay, so the first part of the video, I'm gonna stop here, and then I will continue the second part for window cracking and the zip hashes. Okay, zip cracking. Okay, because remember, in the earlier statement, I mentioned that we have the window hashes, right? So we're gonna do this in the next video, and the zip, right? We have a zip. So how we do this one? All right then. See you and thank you. See you in the next video.